Buenos dias from Mexico City. This is one of the top highlights of Mexico City that I wanted to see while I was here. I am at the house and studio where Diego Rivera and Frida Kahlo lived. If you watch any of my previous videos, you'll know that I am a big fan of Diego Rivera. And of course, I know a lot about Frida Kahlo as well. Who doesn't? Beautiful from the outside so far. Very unique architecture. El Estudio del Pintor. All of his painting supplies. These are all of the pigments for paints. This is a very interesting construction. When Diego Rivera and Frida Kahlo lived here, they actually lived in separate houses. So I would suppose that this one that we just came from was his house, and this one over here is her house.
Can you really say they lived together?
This is a fabulous location for a house. I imagine it was purely residential at one point.
Then they came up here to paint?
That'd be nice. Probably.
Oh, wouldn't you?
Yes, it looks like this one is Frida Kahlo's house. Oh, is this where she painted the painting of her feet in the bathtub? Probably. It looks exactly like it. Oh my gosh, I have to look at that painting later. Bedroom. Oh, okay, I see. It's a shame they took all of her stuff out. I was actually expecting this place to have all of their belongings. It looks like there's a lot of Diego Rivera's belongings, but not really any of Frida Kahlo. Okay, so this was all their property then.
Yeah, we were in that building.
Yeah. But did they also own this one?
The one that we're currently in?
Yeah. I assume so, but I don't know. Beautiful room. Beautiful place to have an art studio. If that's what this was. Yeah. So there are actually 2 Frida Kahlo houses that you can visit in Mexico City. And I was not aware of this, but this is the one that she shared the studio and house with Diego Rivera. But there is another one that was her house. and it is now a museum, and you can go visit it as well, which I'm definitely going to do at some point. It is closed today though, it's because it's December 13th, but just so there's no confusion, this is not the actual Casa Azul. Geez, I did not expect a building like this for this museum. We are here in front of the Anahuacalli Museum. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that correctly. I only ever read these words. This is a humongous museum. I was expecting it to be a small art gallery. No, it looks gigantic and beautiful. So this is Diego Rivera's museum that he curated. So we're gonna see a lot of Diego Rivera art in there. I think some Frida Kahlo art, as well as some ancient Aztec art. So this is gonna be really awesome. I did not expect it to look like this in here. On the wall here, these are planned sketches for some of Diego Rivera's murals. Very cool. This sketch is way more interesting than I had originally realized. Apparently, the mural that Diego Rivera actually painted of this is missing. So it was stolen, and then it was found, and then lost again, and yeah, it hasn't been seen since like the 60s apparently, the actual mural that was painted. It's missing art. Wow, is this a sketchbook? That is cool. This museum is turning into a way cooler experience than I had expected. out onto the top of the roof and a great view of the city from here. Architecture was based off of ancient Aztec temples. So Diego Rivera actually collaborated with Frank Lloyd Wright on the construction of it. Very interesting. Amazing design for a museum. I was very impressed with it.
You're not gonna throw out who the hell Frank Lloyd Wright is? The average person doesn't know stuff like that.
People can Google it. I'm definitely seeing the Frank Lloyd Wright influence on this building. Carl.
Hello, Frankie.
We realized that if we had planned this better, we could have gotten a free admission here. So I said earlier that the Frida Kahlo Museum is closed today, of all days. If it had been open and we had the ticket for that museum, we could have come to the Anahuacalli Museum with the same ticket. So could have saved an admission price. I don't think it would feel amazing.
I mean, it's not even bothered.
Why are you sleeping like that?
I remember being with a H, and you probably don't even pronounce the H.
We don't know what that is.
Looks good though.
It's milky. It smells really sweet.
Really sweet. Maybe it's like Christmas eggnog. Yeah?
It tastes like cinnamon.
No, I'm thinking like eggnog.
Yeah, it actually.
It does taste like a Christmas drink.
Yeah, I wonder. We'll have to Google it. Tasty Mexican soup. Definitely not the first time I've ordered this. The plan was to go to Casa Azul, the other house of Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera. But when we went to book the tickets, it is booked up completely solid for the next 6 weeks. So we still have another like 3 weeks here, but it's still completely booked up. So that really sucks. That was probably the number one thing on my list that I wanted to do. And I didn't see anywhere online that warned me that I need to book that so far in advance. So that's really unfortunate. However, since we had already been to the other Diego Rivera and Frida Kahlo studio and house, I thought it's not the biggest deal in the world. I still have a ton of other opportunities to see Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera stuff in the city. And while that is totally true for Diego Rivera, not entirely true for Frida Kahlo. Her art is not super visible. Like a lot of the times it's in private collections, but there's one museum that happens to house the largest collection of Diego Rivera and Frida Kahlo art in the world. And it's here in Mexico City. It's called the Dolores Olmedo House Museum. And when I looked that up, it is also temporarily closed for the entire duration of our stay. So again, that really sucks. So I am aware that I could go to the Modern Art Museum to see one Frida Kahlo painting, and I might do that. Instead of going to the Casa Azul, I have come to the Dolores Museum? Why can't I remember these last names? But it's another Dolores anyway. Out here with this amazing fountain. This is housing one of Diego Rivera's most impressive murals. So let's go check it out. Look at this. This is so cool. Interestingly, this mural was designed to be underwater. That would have been very cool to see. Well, that was a very cool mural. The way it incorporated the floor, the arch. It was basically an installation specifically designed for this mural. And it was designed to be underwater and was underwater for several years before they noticed that it was starting to deteriorate the paint. So it would have been really cool to see that underwater. Alas, it was very cool anyway. As I said before, there are definitely no shortages of places to see Diego Rivera art in Mexico City, as you will probably be seeing in many of my future videos. I have a lot of plans to see Diego Rivera art because I recently read a biography of Diego Rivera. I'm hoping in the future to get better opportunities to see Frida Kahlo art because it's not very accessible, especially at this time where everything is either booked up or closed.